Okay, I'm going to try and do this in one take now. So, I had a conversation today and it reminded me of a lot of conversations that I had in the past. If you're going training, you got to learn to dig deep, right? Depending on the type of session, obviously. But you got to learn to dig deep. And when I say dig deep, you got to learn to be vulnerable. Now, what do I mean by learn to be vulnerable? If we're doing a set, right, of maybe 5 runs, right, and you were asked to do your max effort for those 5 runs, okay? If it's in a group, maybe you have a habit of getting away with these things. Maybe it's a large group and you're doing it with your team, right? It's for all the pros, they're in pre-season in England. So one of the sessions I was doing today, so it's someone they're going over to England and they're in their pre-season. So we're building towards that, but you might be doing a group fitness test. And that group fitness test might be a group of maybe 20 players, 30 players, whatever it is. And how many people out of those 30 players are hiding? I'm telling you now what happens at loads of levels, right? And it's only at the top level they all go. They all learn how to dig deep. But I mean at local level, there's so much hiding, right? But the reality is, lots of the players that we coach, they won't all go on to be professional players. They won't. They might go on to be coaches, they might play at a decent level, but they won't all go on to be professional. And that's the reality. So what can we do to help them be a better person, be a better parent, be a better friend, and use football, enjoy football, and you will enjoy it way more when you dig deep, way more. So then the other side of it is what way do you react when you dig deep, when you get to the red zone, right? So it's all very nice when we're doing the first 1 or 2 runs because we're all fresh. Then it gets a little bit harder and a little bit harder and a little bit harder. But you get to a point where you have to push and push to a point where you haven't been before. It's scary, it might be difficult, it might be a point where you start to use stuff that has gone on in your past, but the way people react when they get to the red zone is so interesting. You have the people that blame, the people that go into the victim mentality, the people that go hiding. When I say hiding, they're pretending that they're injured, they're pretending that they're sick, there's something wrong with them, they're away with the fairies, but they never ever allow themselves to be vulnerable enough to experience that growth. And then you have the other people who dig deep, get angry, but it's a different type of anger. It's an anger that you channel, you use it, and then you have your release, and you eventually find that balance. We got to learn to dig deep. And I was watching a couple of coaching sessions lately, not with us, just external ones, random club sessions, and look, it's difficult for some parents because they haven't experienced it before. Maybe they haven't coached before, maybe they are just parents getting involved, and that's great, and that needs to happen. But from a coaching level, especially as they get older, you got to learn to dig deep. And the kids, the players, the older players that learn how to dig deep, when they push themselves, they will experience the most amount of improvement. They're the most coachable ones. They're the ones that will go to their max when you ask them to go to their max. And they're the most coachable player. So I'm going to pop up 1 or 2 things in the next couple of days about the personality traits, because this is stuff that I learned in the past and it made a big difference to me and my mentality. But we're going to be popping some stuff up with regards to the personality traits, what we can do on a mentality basis, and what we can do in our sessions to develop that mental toughness. Because the mental toughness is so important, lads. And if you don't develop that mental toughness, then we're just too nice. And when we went to a game and things get a little bit tough, you blame, you go hiding, and we don't apply what we need to apply. And do you know what? You fall out of love with football. So at the end of the day, we need to be always moving forward. And that's what drives me, is like that's what makes me tick. That bit of growth and that bit of improvement all the time. So have a think, what way do you react when you get to the red zone?